Hi everyone, it's me. Number 10. The legend begins. The story of the lost city of Atlantis first appeared in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato more than 2,000 years ago. In his text, he described Atlantis as a place of wisdom and enlightenment, home to a utopian society that lived in peace and harmony until their arrogance and greed caused them to be wiped out by a natural disaster. Some believe it was located somewhere in the Mediterranean, while others think it was off the coast of the New World. There are even those who say that Plato made the whole thing up. He said that the island was swallowed by the sea and no trace of it has ever been found since. But that hasn't stopped people from trying. For centuries, people have speculated over where the real Atlantis could be, with many believing that it actually existed. Number 9. The Atlantic Ocean. Plato placed the island of Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, but he also described it as being close to the Strait of Gibraltar, which is between Africa and Europe. In it, he claimed that Atlantis was located off the coast of Ireland, and that it had once been part of a much larger landmass that had since sunk beneath the waves. This theory is known as the Celtic Atlantis theory, and it's still popular today. This detail led many people to search for it in the Mediterranean, with some thinking that it was near the Greek islands of Cyclades. The Portuguese began searching for the lost city in the 14th century. It wasn't until 3 centuries later that they finally gave up the search. They point to the fact that there is no physical evidence that the island ever existed, and that it's never mentioned in any other ancient texts. They say that the island sank during a volcanic eruption around 1650 BC, causing a tsunami that destroyed the nearby Minoan civilization. However, this hasn't stopped some people from trying to prove that it did exist. The Atlantic isn't exactly known for being home to a bunch of islands. According to legend, the island sank because its people were too greedy and selfish. And if Plato really meant the Atlantic when he wrote about it, then the location of the lost city would have been closer to the Americas. Others believed it was located in the Aegean Sea between Greece and Turkey. He wrote about the island in 2 of his works, Timaeus and Critias, but he never actually said that it had been swallowed by the sea. Instead, he said that it was hidden from view, which could mean that it was simply lost to the sands of time or buried under a mountain of rubble after an earthquake. This theory is supported by the fact that Plato described the island as being larger than Libya and Ethiopia, which are both countries in Africa. After all, he was known for being a bit dramatic at times. If Atlantis was real and it was bigger than these 2 places, then it must have been a continent. And yet others thought that it might have been near the coast of Egypt or the island of Crete, where King Minos supposedly lived. They believe that these may have been the remains of an ancient city, but so far they haven't been able to prove it. In recent years, a number of explorers have come forward with new theories about where the island could be. They said that they had discovered a huge underwater city that was covered in strange symbols and hieroglyphics. However, their discovery was met with skepticism from the scientific community, who pointed out that there is no actual evidence to support their claims. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these. See you next time. Bye. One even claimed that it was located near the North Pole. But there is one massive problem with all of these locations. None of them are near the Atlantic Ocean. Number 8. Off the coast of Portugal. People still want to believe that there is a place somewhere where life is perfect and everyone lives in peace. Maybe we just want to believe in magic. The truth is, we may never know. But one thing is for sure. The legend of Atlantis will live on for centuries to come. But none of these claims have been proven. One of the most popular theories about where Atlantis could be is that it was off the coast of Portugal, near the Azores or Madeira Islands. In the 1800s, an author named Ignatius Donnelly wrote a book called The Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Number 7. The Standard Theory. Most mainstream archaeologists dismiss Plato's story of Atlantis as nothing more than a myth. One group of researchers believes that Atlantis was actually located near the Greek island of Thera, which is now known as Santorini. Number 6. A lost continent. Another popular theory is that Atlantis was actually a lost continent that sank beneath the ocean. Some people even believe that Atlantis was the mythical land of Mu, which was said to have been located in the Pacific Ocean. Number 5. Why it endures. Despite all of the evidence against it, the legend of Atlantis continues to endure. In recent years, various groups have claimed to have found evidence of Atlantis. From ancient ruins off the coast of Israel to a mysterious underwater city in the Atlantic Ocean. Number 4. Plato's Atlantis. It's also worth noting that Plato's version of Atlantis may not be entirely accurate. There are those who believe that Atlantis was actually a real place that Plato made up, or at least exaggerated, the natural disaster that befell it. Number 3. Still searching. Despite the lack of evidence, people are still searching for Atlantis. But perhaps the most exciting discovery came in 2011, when a team of marine archaeologists found a series of underwater structures off the coast of Portugal. Number 2. Underwater ruins. In 2017, a group of divers claimed to have found the ruins of Atlantis in the Bahamas. Still, many people remain fascinated by the possibility that Atlantis could have been real, and that somewhere beneath the waves lies the lost city of gold. Number 1. The real story. So what really happened to Atlantis? Did it sink into the ocean, or is it still out there somewhere waiting to be found? Thanks for watching. What do you think is the real story behind the lost city of Atlantis? Let me know in the comments below.